Hello, FloBaseball fans. I'm Nicole Beckelman, and welcome to this week's episode of Behind the Bases. Today, I'll be talking to Joey Urban, Big East Freshman of the Year. So, I know you grew up in Jupiter, Florida. Can you talk a little bit about your Little League experience there and how that kind of prepared you for your collegiate career?
So I grew up in Jupiter, Florida, and I played Little League. And when we were 12 years old, we ended up going through all like winning states and all that. And I saw a lot of kids I grew up with are actually playing college baseball now. Growing up with them was actually pretty cool, with seeing how everyone can progress and like all the athletes and how they like doing really well now. And like when I was in high school, I saw a good amount of good arms, good players coming through, and so there's a lot of good talent around where I grew up.
Yeah. So grew up in Florida. Why'd you choose to go to Butler? Did you have offers from other schools, or what drew you to be a Bulldog?
So I was getting recruited by a couple schools before COVID, and when COVID hit, a lot of the schools I was talking to either was like, we have 6 years, 5 years coming back, and the only thing we have, like with the unlimited man roster or whatever it was, like there was a lot of people on teams, and he was like, I'm not going to offer a freshman with people that are 5, 6 years in college baseball. And honestly, I think my age group had a big struggle with that. And so I was talking to a bunch of junior colleges like my senior year, and Butler reached out, the old coaches reached out to me, and they saw one game and they offered. I was like, they have a good business school here, and that's what I want to do, like pursue and all that. And so I was like, I think Butler's the best fit.
Yeah, I bet those schools are a little upset now after seeing your stats from last season. So congratulations, you were the Big East Freshman of the Year. How big of an honor was that to receive that award for you?
To me, that just I was not like, I knew I was in the running for it, and that was always a goal of mine. Like I set goals with my coaches and my parents and all that, and Big East freshman was definitely one of them. But I was just like, that's such a long shot. Like there's a lot of good players in the Big East, and when I was rewarded that, I was just like, wow, like that's something I never thought I could achieve. And then I don't know, I just was very amazed with myself and proud of myself that I could do that.
Last year, you were a freshman. There wasn't a lot of expectations on you coming into the season. However, this year it's a bit different of a story, as last season you led the club in hits, batting average, slugging percentage, runs scored, RBIs, doubles, total bases, at-bats, and was tied for the team lead in home runs. So pretty impressive stats. What are your goals for this upcoming season, or how do you plan to kind of replicate the success you had last season?
So I definitely think coming into this year, I have a little more pressure on myself. I think because, I mean, last year I just was like, whatever happens, happens. I'm a freshman. But this year, now that I have like that on my name, I feel like I just kind of like release the pressure on myself, because right now I can feel it like building up and stuff. So, but I definitely think that like my achievements for the year, I think definitely just try to beat all my stats from last year, just try to compete with myself from last year and all that.
What's your game plan to achieve those goals?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. Like last year, I didn't put enough work in, and like hitting wise, like going by myself. So I think like putting more work in, like caring about weights more and all that, I think will help me achieve my goals.
All right, cool. That's funny you say you didn't put a lot of work in, but it seems like you still had a pretty good season.
It's pretty bad when I say I didn't put enough work in, but like even my teammates, my coach, like my teammates mainly say like, you just did not put, like I didn't go hit by myself ever really. It was mainly just with the team, and which I look back now, I wish I did, because I mean, who knows what my stats would have been last year. But I don't want to sound like that kind of guy. But yeah, I think definitely putting a little more work in, caring about my body a little more, I think will definitely help me achieve more.
Hey, I think that's really important to be honest with yourself. So I think that's really cool that you can kind of call yourself out to help prepare for next season. Obviously, last season you were able to stay pretty consistent. Your batting average was a 296. How were you able to keep yourself pretty consistent? Because baseball is a game of like highs and lows, but you were pretty consistent throughout the whole season. You did really good. How'd you do that?
So definitely, I think just never getting down on myself. Like I definitely went through ups and like highs and lows for a little bit. And like I started the season off pretty hot, and then like about quarter way through, I kind of like went through like like a weekend series slump, and I tried to not let that get to my head, and I just try not to beat myself down because I remember in high school, um, it's only like a 25 game season, not 56, and I just I just try not to down myself because I think that when you put too much pressure on yourself, you definitely crash, and especially with baseball, like there's a lot of failure, and if you keep failing, and I think that gets to your head. And I think last year I tried to like keep myself humble, like not let it get to my head and all that.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't want you to give away any of your secrets, but what is your approach when you step up to the plate? Because I think you would have some pretty good advice.
Um, so last year I ended up batting first a lot, and my thing was I know a good pitch was usually coming at the time to start the game off, but I definitely got a couple off-speed pitches to start the game that kind of fooled me a little bit because I'm looking for a fastball. But usually when I get a strike, like when I get two strikes, I like widen out and get a two-strike approach up there, and I try like I mean I did strike out a good amount last year, but I try to just put the ball in play, like or just drive runners in, like just help my team out as much. And I think like not being selfish, I think truly helped me last year with like doing hit and runs or like just trying to move people over. I think helped me out a lot.
Okay. And this is a question I'm dying to know, but are you a Swiftie? Do you like Taylor Swift?
Uh, Personally, I don't listen to her, but I do have like a good amount of people that I know are like a couple of like the friends I know like are trying to get me into it, but I can't. I just can't do it.
Okay, well, that I guess kind of defeats the purpose of my second question. I was going to ask you what your favorite song was. I mean, I feel like you have to know some of her songs.
I don't even think I could name a song.
Really? You never heard like Love Story or Blank Space? Really?
I mean, now that you say them, I've probably heard them like on the radio.
Okay.
I don't have a
Well,
personal one.
okay. What do you do before your games to kind of get ready? Do you have like some pregame hype music? Do you have any superstitions?
So I am a pretty superstitious kind of guy. Like, I'm always getting told that like superstitions aren't real. Like, it's just in your head, and I just try not to listen to that because I mean I am very superstitious and like I don't want to like mess up any motto and all that. A funny one is I try to get Chipotle before every Friday night game. I try to go Thursday night or Friday like morning-ish, and I don't know. I just think like right before the games, I try to listen to a couple like music and just try to like get me in the zone and all that. Just I go to the cages kind of early and like try to like relax a little more by myself and all that.
Cool. That makes me really hungry because I love Chipotle and it's lunchtime here. So, but that's all the questions I had for you. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today, and best of luck next season.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.